You read that right. This pair of football boots has a magnet inside of it. This is the adidas Copa Pure 2 Elite made in Germany, which has been built by hand in, you guessed it, Germany. And also it comes with a full Fusionskin leather upper. Plus, of course, this fold-over tongue that has a little magnet inside to keep it in place. But does all of that make it a better football boot? That is also worth the extra 20 euros compared to the regular Copa Pure 2 Elite? Well, I'll tell you all about that in today's video, so let's go and lace up and I guess magnetize. But made in Germany. I mean, cool and all, but what does it really mean? Well, these boots have actually been built at the same factory where Adidas built the Copa Mundial boots. That's their factory in Scheinfeld in Germany. That's a little northwest of their world headquarters in Herzogenaurach. And it's a factory that's been in business since 1959, where some of Adidas's best craftsmen and women pour all of their love and knowledge and skill into making football boots. But wait a minute, Jay, does that mean that my regular Copa Pure 2 Elite that's made in Indonesia is not made with the utmost love and care? No, not necessarily. But the thing is that in Scheinfeld, they make much smaller batches of boots, meaning that they have more time to really focus on all the little details and again, pour all of their knowledge and skill and craftsmanship and love into making the boots. So the build quality is there. It's the same philosophy as Mizuno's made in Japan boots, basically, just made in Germany. But the thing is that this is not just a regular Copa Pure 2 Elite that's 20 euros more expensive because of where it's made. No, it's actually quite a unique boot in itself. And first and foremost, you get a full Fusionskin leather upper, which is this really impressively soft calf leather that's I wasn't really aware that calf leather could be this soft without breaking it in, but it's very soft, and then it's coated with this special skin on top that allows Adidas to print on it and treat it like any other synthetic. Only it's leather and it's very soft. But unlike on the regular Copa Pure 2 Elite where you only have a leather forefoot, you now have a full leather upper, which is actually really nice. And of course also in traditional Copa style you have the fold over tongue. It looks a little bit different, but unlike on the Copa Mundial where the tongue had a tendency to never ever want to stay down and in place and just was flapping all around, Adidas have actually managed to fixate it 99% of the time by installing a set of little magnets. So it just falls back into place, which is it is not the experience that I'm used to with a Copa Mundial. And apart from all the technical differences, you also just have a lot of little call-outs to Adidas's German heritage. You have 1949, which is the year that Adidas was founded. You have made in Germany and the little German flag stitched under the Copa stripes. And also you have 100 years of shoemaking written on the inside of the tongue. And by doing quick maths, 100 years of shoemaking, 1949, that doesn't really add up. But that's because the founder of Adidas, Adolf Dassler, has been making shoes since 1924. Alongside his brother, Rudolf Dassler, they founded the Gebrüder Dassler Schuhfabrik, the Dassler brothers shoe factory, in 1924, until they later split. Rudolf went on to found Puma, Adolf founded Adidas, Adi Dassler, as he was called. That makes sense. It's a long story, and it's cool with all the little details, but the big question is, how do the boots feel to play in? Oh, what I didn't mention was that it also has the, made in Germany and the geographical coordinates of the Scheinfeld factory on the sole there, so that's cool. Well, if you've ever tried either of the Copa Pure boots, the first or the second generation, you'll kind of know what you're getting into, because this Fusionskin leather upper here is, it is outrageously soft. It's a fantastic material in the sense that it feels broken in before you even put them on. And that means that you get this rather close but also slightly stretchy, very rich sensation from the leather where you feel that, yes, it sits pretty close to your foot, but in a way where you can completely freely wiggle your toes and it's never restrictive. It just molds and takes to the shape of your foot, really. Now, I often use the analogy, your granddad's old, very worn pair of slippers where the upper is just, it's so soft and malleable. And this is basically the football boot equivalent of that. Because it is just, like, it is stupidly comfortable to just step right into and enjoy. One of the reasons is, of course, because the forefoot is very, very soft, but also the midfoot, where you have the leather instead of that slightly stiffer, more firm textile-based midfoot. And that means that here, it does feel soft, it does feel more premium, and again, as if it just takes better to the shape of your foot. Also, of course, the added softness means that you won't have the same amount of stability and lockdown as in the regular Copa Pure 2s. But I guess that if you are out there buying a pair of made in Germany Copa Pures, you're probably prioritizing comfort over lockdown anyway, so I don't think it'll be that big of a problem. But now you know. However, what's also changed that I'm a little bit about is, as you can see here, the opening where you put your foot in is a lot bigger than it is on the regular Copa Pure 2 Elites, which I don't know why. It might be because of the lasts that they use, but also, which I also don't know why they've done, is that the heel tab is not as wide as it is on the regular Copa. Again, no clue why, but to me it means that while you still get that pretty padded sensation around your heel, because there is a lot of padding, I don't get the same snug, secure feel as I do in the regular Copas. And that means that it just feels a little bit bulkier and slightly more loose around your ankle. And for me, it meant that I had to pull my laces really tight in this area to kind of pull the boot in and make it fall into place. And even then, it just was a little bit more loose than I would like. Again, it adds to the feeling of bulk. And sure, it's something that, again, I can live with it because it's not the primary focus of the boot lockdown and it's so stupidly comfortable. But if you are nitpicky about these things, like myself, it's something that you need to know. So, yeah. But of course, then there is also this infamous tongue with a magnet inside to keep it in place. And I guess it's a really cool thing, but my initial reaction was also that this is a recipe for disaster. So does it hurt? Is it in the way? Well, thankfully, most of the time, no. When I'm just striking the ball, dribbling with it regularly, it's not in the way. I didn't really notice it. I did feel it when I'm taking a touch from like a high ball, sometimes when I'm juggling, and also if I'm striking the ball really deep. You can feel the firmness of the magnet. And while it doesn't hurt per se, it's also, I would say, noticeable and not necessarily pleasant. So again, it's never really in the way that much, but it just made me conscious about how I strike the ball. A little bit more than I would have liked to. But again, you know, yes, there might be a little bit of room for improvement to make it less obvious, but I think it works a lot better than you'd think, because it just stays in place. Even when it flaps up, unless you get really unlucky that the laces come in and sit right here, it just falls right back down. So, better than expected, that's for sure.
2,000 years later.
I mean, I can keep doing this. You want to buy the boots? Hit the link right up there. But the big question remains, should you buy the Made in Germany Copa Pure 2 Elite? Well, it kind of depends really, because if you are the kind of player that really prefers a wildly comfortable experience that just feels a little bit more premium, I definitely think it should be on your radar, because to me at least, it is just that little extra bit comfortable compared to the regular Copa Pure 2 Elite, and it just feels more premium. You feel that extra craftsmanship. You get the tongue, and if you can live with the extra padding and slightly extra bulk, it is just, to me, a more comfortable ride. Sure, it's 20 euros more expensive, but it's just like buying, you know, the extra on top of the ice cream, the sprinkle on top. You pay more, but it also makes it a better experience. So it depends on what you want, but if you would like to try out the Made in Germany Copa Pure 2 Elites, well, you can do so in the link to Unisport right over there. But of course also, tell me what you think of this whole magnet deal, full leather Copa, in the comment section right down below. And also, if you want to watch more boot reviews, click the playlist right down there. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go and do that. And with those words, nice reminder, I'll be signing off.